governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amici, and then we also remember and Celestina Mehan, PDP, what the court said about all of that. When people cross the carpet, do you retain your position, or does your position truly belong to your political party that went for that particular election? Because these are some of the legal matters that will crop up in this movement.
The provision of the Constitution regarding cross-carpeting doesn't apply to the executive arm. Doesn't apply to the president, vice president, governor, or deputy governor. It's talking about the legislature or legislators. So apparently they didn't emphasize that somebody who has been elected a governor or president will wake up and say, I'm no longer a member of this party. So for these four gentlemen who have decided to go to another party, that doesn't apply to them. So we should not bother ourselves to be an intellectual, just a mere intellectual exercise, trying to justify or not justify their vacating their seats for another, they are leaving their party for another party. The law does not make provision for them.
But what does this mean for the political stage in Nigeria?
Could you be more specific? Because if I go into that, 2 hours will be enough.
It's when this crisis, our correspondent Charles did a chronicle of how things began, and when it started, it looked as if it was a small thing, and it grew big, and then now it's as though the new PDP emerged, somewhat dividing the PDP. They went to court. The court says, go ahead, exist as an arm of, or whatever, as a new party, so to speak. Now, but with them now moving to the APC, how do you think that will play out in the political scene?
You know, these things are geared towards 2015. There are some, and these people who moved into APC are going to get some lessons, because they are dealing with a master, and the master is Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu. By the time they get there, they find out that what they thought was isn't. You know, in PDP, you are allowed a lot of latitude. It doesn't exist in a Tinubu party, whether ACN or now APC. They're going to say that. So by the time they realize what has happened to them, and they want to come back to PDP, because who is going to, now some people are already in APC. Positions, influences already existing there. And you come in because you have a massive war chest in terms of Naira, because of the allocation that comes to your state. You think because of that you're going to come over and you're going to come to my party and shut me aside? That will be inimical to the interest of the APC. And they're not going to get destroyed because somebody's coming with lots of Naira. Because that's not exactly their problem. Don't forget that they're not exactly poor themselves. So ultimately, while they're working towards 2015, APC will want to win the election, naturally. But if you see, in the APC, there are subsets. You have the general program. You have sub-programs. People have their own different agenda inside the APC, all geared towards the same 2015.
Now, you know, it's interesting that you've given that explanation. I think one of the places that illustrates that is what has happened in Sokoto. We saw the APC there go to visit Governor Wamako of Sokoto State, and I think in the process forgot to visit Tahiru Bafarawa, a former governor of that particular state, and they sent an emissary back to go and apologize and, you know, ask him to forgive them. And I think he asked them not to interfere in the local politics of APC in Sokoto State. I think he told them that the apology was accepted, and also talked about how Alhaji Wamako will have to apologize to APC members whom he's offended. That out. People have also cited different examples of what you've just said happening. But they say politics is a game of numbers. I mean, if this is about increasing their ground base, or, you know, their ground base, and we're looking at the map, just on front page of this morning, we saw a map, you know, looking at the political coloration, as it were, and how it could drastically change. Do you see them being able to sort out their differences and eventually moving on with numbers, assuming they're able to, you know, really sort it out?
First of all, is it assuming they're able to sort it out? And I can assure you they won't sort it out. Because it's about, politics is about interest. Now, we've already known that the interests we're talking about there are not the interests of Nigerians. It's the interests of these actors. The Rotimi Amechis, the Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubus, the Bafarawas, even the Jonathans. Now, you're coming in from another place, and I'm already here working. I made it possible. I made it look good for you to now want to come in. And you're telling me that I'm going to be very relevant? I'm not going to let that happen. If it was to be for the general good of Nigeria or Nigerians, then it would be easy for me to say, okay, this guy is better at this and better at that. Let me step aside for him to come and use his expertise. But because all we're looking for is our bank accounts, I'm not going to let you do that. You can be better, you can be more qualified, but I'm not going to let you do that.
But assuming, I mean, because you are putting it on,
okay, now let's assume
on the premise that they will not be able to. Now, assuming
okay,
at the end of the day,
that
the greater stake is actually what is it? I mean, all the stakes put together, it's not as great as what is at stake. And they're able to put the differences aside and see what exactly they're aiming at. What do you think? Do you think it's possible?
You see, as some are leaving, it's just like Pentecostal churches. As some are leaving, new people are coming in. So now that you have some people, let's assume there's some of these differences. You know, as they're setting it out, or setting them out, some people are feeling aggrieved. What stops them from now saying, you know what, that vacuum left in PDP, Alhaji Babanga took a please, we would like to come and join you. And we know a few things we can give to you that you will use to work against APC. That is how it works. That's how it flows.
But
so the movement of people from PDP to APC does not guarantee that the numbers of APC members will increase while that of PDP will decrease. No, you're going to see some people also migrating to PDP. Because they have something to offer. They have information.
Let's look at this issue of internal wranglings. I mean, this is not the first time a party is having internal scuffles, but this is the first time that it's like been blown so big, so to speak. So what would happen if we keep having this kind of internal wranglings within political parties? How do they get to solve these issues?
We'll continue having such internal wranglings. I'm sure even in developed societies you see have some wranglings, but our own is the way it is because of our aim, because of our objective, which is not to develop Nigeria. It's all about our pockets. I got to say that. It's all about our pockets. So, and this one is being blown up the way it is because APC understands the use of the media. They know how to use it, and they use it effectively. You see, if you continue saying that somebody is a woman, that's a man. Because you say this is a woman, but he's always wearing trousers. I don't see a woman wearing trousers. After a while, some people start saying, it's possible that guy is actually a woman. That is how APC deploys the media.
Would a formation or a putting forth of a clear ideology solve this issue of wranglings with them?
Some time ago, my mentors mentioned Dr. Chuba Kadiwo brought me to his office in Yaba then and brought out the manifestos of all the parties which he prepared for them.
All the parties?
All. About 18, some number then. I was his lawyer. He prepared for them. Brilliant mind, no doubt. But now, can you imagine that? So what clear ideology are you going to get from any of these groupings? For you to have a clear ideology that is unique or peculiar to any of them, they must first of all put Nigeria on the table and decide to work for Nigeria. Which is why ultimately I still kind of favor the current president. Because, yes, there are issues about corruption. There are major issues about corruption. But rather than treat the symptoms, he's attempting to go to what actually even causes the symptoms. If you can get away power and pass on to some private individuals, the issue of corruption there will reduce. And so on and so forth. So of all the people who are prancing around on this stage now, who are pretending to be working for us or to be telling us they want to work for us, I still see President Jonathan as the one that I could single out and say, look, much as he's not doing so well, it's better than average compared to the rest of the people I'm seeing there.
So, because when you talk about the media, it looks like what's been happening is actually fabricated, because we have actually been following all of this. And you say, because there's something that binds these governors, they're all second-term governors, meaning after 2015, they're out of office. And we all saw how it started. perhaps those that have decided